market when running third behind Vaughan's Arms. That's number 1, Lone Wolf. Now, the next one we're looking at, number 2, Glensia Lad. This one's a 5-year-old bay gelding by Bishop's move out of Armford. He's a consistent sort, but he's not winning out of turn when he beats Quiet Bell and French Swords there. Got a good chance today.
I'm sorry to trouble you. I wonder if I...
What is it then?
I'm sorry about this. It's, well, you're just going out to work, are you?
I am, yeah.
Can we talk?
In the bedroom?
Yeah. Sorry. Hello, son. Hey, you've got lovely toys there, haven't you, eh? Yes, it's a fire engine, isn't it, eh? Hello, Rob.
Now, the next one we're looking at, number 2, Glensia Lad. This one's a 5-year-old bay gelding by Bishop's move out of Armford.
Cigarette?
No. I'm on late turn. I've only just got up.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Well?
I'm not a brutal sort of a chap, you know. I mean, I'm a married man, you know. I've got a wife and kids. I've got a gentle disposition, I really have, you know. I'm not joking. I'm clean. I've never hurt anybody in my life.
Are you? What about me? What about the others?
Not you or anybody. You didn't tell Sand anything about that.
Sand was here the other day. He was asking
Yeah, but
about...
you didn't tell him anything.
I told him nothing.
Good. Well, there's nothing to tell, is there?
Isn't there?
Nothing.
All right.
They're coming for me, you know. The London lads.
Are they?
Yeah, but it's more serious than that. They're coming for Corsby, too.
Corsby?
Ah, you remember, he was standing there when I didn't do it.
Aye.
Now, you're like me, you know, I mean, well, you're a married man, you know. You've got a nice job. You've got a lovely family. But there comes a time, you know, when you've got to stop and think. Well, it's like my insurance collector said to me the other day, you know. You've got to stop and think. I mean, something could happen to you or your family. I'm going to be blunt about this. If anything happens to me or Corsby through you, something could happen to you or your family. I've got a gun. A real gun. There's chaos going on out there today, you know. Ah, there's a funeral right the way through town. All the top brass. Yeah, well, I better get going. I mean it, you know. It never happened one word from you. And they're in trouble. I'm sorry.
Now, the pack horse is a 4-year-old bay gelding by...
It's terrible out there today, you know. There's going to be traffic jams all over town. We're burying our great. Ah, well. Cheerio, love. Ta-da. Ta-da, son.
Well, he's sure...
What did he want?
Nothing.
Haven't you lot got something better to do? You should be out catching peeping toms.
starting to bloody rain. Lovely day for a funeral.
Train now standing at platform 10 is the 1450 for Preston, boarding at Crewe, Warrington and Milton. Passengers for Milton occupy the rear coach of this train.
Hey, lad. Put it back.
Started bloody raining now. What a country.
Have they loaded up yet?
Are they what?
Have they set off?
He's got all the time in the world.
Not in this one, he hasn't.
Yeah, bloody terrible, the drafts in here. Oh, aye. The Borough News.
What?
They just rang up. Said they'd heard that two high-ranking London detectives were on their way here to... I know. No, just hang on. I wrote all this down. Aye. On their way here to investigate charges of violence being used by certain police officers in this town in order to obtain confessions. That's it.
What do you say?
I told them Chief Superintendent Seagold was out handling the diversion and could they ring back in an hour.
How's it got out?
Search me.
Who's meeting the London train?
Him.
What time does it get in?
10 to 4.
That means they'll be here by 4.
How will I recognise them?
They'll be wearing a big sign round their necks. Vice investigators. This club sells them a wash, I think.
Aye? You fancy all this, then?
Well, it's been a bit dull. Bit of excitement, wouldn't you say? Liven things up. Makes a change.
Don't flick your ash all over Mrs. Cobble's clean floor. No wonder she blasphemes the whole morning about you.
He's at it. Gone, hasn't he?
By, she curses you, that woman.
Bloody tea's gone cold now.
Aye. Poor sod. Terrible weather. Can't be having much of a holiday.
No, he isn't.
Good afternoon, sir.
Having quite a blowout there.
Aye.
Make you spill your tea, did I?
No, sir. Aye, well, maybe just a spot.
Seat yourself. Sir. Tragic about Willie Cleaver, eh?
Aye.
Right in the middle of my holiday. Only drinking with him the night before I went.
Oh, well, so you did break your holiday for her?
Oh, I had to pay some respects. I left the wife in Scarborough. Well, I knew him better than she did. It's been up to the house. But it's sad. What's your banker?
I beg pardon, sir?
Your banker.
Oh, Hartlepool, sir.
Hartlepool's.
Aye.
I saw your pools as I came in.
Ah, yes, well, it's been very quiet here today, sir.
Superintendent Seagold on the diversion, is he?
Oh, yes, sir.
If he comes in, I'd like to see him.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right?
Yes, Mr. Corsby.
You don't look very sunburned. I've never known news travel like it. It's all over town. The papers have just rung up. You leave the missus in Scarborough, did you? Well, don't take any notice of me. I specialize in monologues.
Oh, I do, you?
For God's sake.
Oh, the kids.
Never mind the bloody kids. Listen, all Sugal's got is what Sand says. And Sand's got nothing.
What about Cowley?
Just been to see him. Sand tried to get at him. But he said nothing. He's deaf and dumb. Silent as the hills.
Oh, that's all right, then. Nobody else has ever said you clobbered him, except Cowley to Sam when he came out of that room. If you remember that occasion, I was inside watching the interview.
I suppose you're right.
Yes, I'm right. And I got a bloody cold. Your parting's crooked. Got to look nice for the London boys. Where's Sam?
On the diversion with the rest of them. He's been stumping about here all morning as if he owns a mortgage in the building.
You're jumpy.
I'm not jumpy. Everything's under control.
A tip from my grandmother, God bless her. If you can't get the colour back in your cheeks, pinch 'em. Like that. Go on.
You better send Jackson over there. He'll be the best man.
Sarge.
Oh. Excuse me, sir. Chief Superintendent Hugold is in your office, waiting.
Percy,
I didn't expect you back yet.
came back for the funeral. Just been down to the house.
I was there.
Oh, I must have missed you.
You got a cold. How's Gladys?
She's very well. Very sad, this Percy. Willie Cleaver and I were at school together. Just down there, Buckley Road. You'll have to pass by the school. Of course, it's not the same as it was. You gave £10,000 to help rebuild it. You left 30 years ago with £2 in his pocket. I know it for a fact. Do you know how many men he employed at one go? 80,000. We were known as the Terrible Twins. My dad was a butcher. He was a delivery lad. By what we got up to on them backs. We both come a long way, Percy. 5 mils him, then 12. Right through the ranks me. The whole county. You're not burying me today, Percy. No matter what thoughts you may have on the matter. Why'd you try it on?
I'm trying nothing on. I had a complaint from Detective Sergeant Sand.
Oh, you know perfectly well there's a pack of lies and recriminations. What else have you got?
He's made a statement. I couldn't ignore it. You can see it if you like.
Go on, what's it say?
I'll go and get it.
Remember it.
He said that with your knowledge and for several years, Detective Sergeant Gorn has been assaulting certain suspected persons for the purpose of obtaining confessions from them. The with your knowledge refers specifically to the matter of Cowley.
Do you realize how daft you sound? Cowley's 5 convictions.
Sand has Cowley's statement. It involves you because you were in the interview room watching when Gorn hit Cowley 3 times in the stomach.
You're forgetting yourself, Percy. Cowley alleges is the way to say it.
Well, of course.
So, you all waited till I was out of the way.
We didn't all do anything. It's not a conspiracy.
Year in, year out, I sit at this desk. I deal with murders, corpses, pit disasters, 12, 13 hours a day. Carrying this county sometimes. And after 8 days in my chair, this is your contribution. Didn't I leave enough you do that you've got to scrabble in the muck like this? Oh, it's petty, it's cheap. It does you very little credit. Quite apart from which, I don't know how you found time for it.
By rights, I shouldn't be discussing this with you at all.
Oh?
It's all sub judice here.
And behind my back.
No.
Well, very well, I'll talk to myself. I could bar the door to these people coming. I mean, if I say so, there'll be no investigation. However, it will not be me that calls off an investigation. It will be you.
I'm afraid not.
It will be you.
You're on leave, Arthur. I'm in charge at the moment.
I know. You've Cowley's statement, I suppose.
I'd rather not discuss it.
Oh, come on, Percy. What's secret about that? I shall have to be confronted with it. Have you got it?
No, I haven't got it.
Who's got it?
Sand.
Have you seen it?
No.
Has anybody else?
No. I tell you this is irregular, Arthur.
It's irregular what's happening to me. How do you know it exists?
I don't.
Then doesn't it occur to you that it's your position that's in the balance? Your good name, not mine?
No, it doesn't.
You know perfectly well there's no statement from Cowley.
I know.
And you know that if there was, it'd be the word of a 5 previous thug against mine.
I know that.
What are you trying to do to me, Percy? What have I ever done to you?
You keep talking as if it's something personal.
Oh, if this isn't personal, what is? Who told you? Was it gone? But Percy, I'm trying to understand why. You're taking away my life.
This won't get us anywhere.
Is it about Tom? All right, I'll tell you about Tom. You call it favoritism, nepotism, you call it what you like. I got him a house. I got him a telephone. I used my influence. What a scandal, my brother's boy. Gladys and I can never have kids. Listen, Percy. We can never have one of our own. I took over my brother's child when he died. I eased his path. I oiled his wheels a bit, that's all. It isn't worth all this. This is vengeance, Percy.
Funny you should mention Tom.
It is about Tom. So I was right. Now I know how petty and vile people's minds can get. So you want a bloody fight, do you? You haven't got a leg to stand on. It's my job you're after, and you're not going to get it.
I'm going back to the diversion.
You're going back to the beat.
Not me, Arthur.
You trump this up between you with no evidence. You're going to be laughed out of this town. I never realized you were so incompetent, Percy. You're not fit to fill up a bloody charge sheet.
All right. I'll tell you. That's not the evidence we've got. That's what started it, but that's not what it's all about. There is a statement, but not from Cowley and not about assaults on prisoners. I have one in writing from a member of this constabulary about you and Gorn accepting bribes against breaches of the law.
Oh?
And as I said, it's funny you should mention Tom, because it's PC 107 Thomas Corsby who's made the statement. Your lad, your favorite boy.
I was standing in the corner with Milton, and he handed me the cash in fivers.
What did he say?
Oh, how the hell can I be expected to remember that? It was months ago.
What did he say it was for? Who did he say it was
Listen,
for?
we were both a bit pissed. Tom was there that night. I can't remember if he was standing there, while I took it.
Did he say, give Mr. Corsby that? Or words to that effect?
I can't remember.
Bloody try.
He might well have said something like that. What are you going to do?
I'm not having any more of them. They make it choke.
Uh-huh.
James?
Sir?
I want Tom back here.
Tom Cosby. Yes, sir.
Would you just hold a moment?
107, come in, please. 107, Cosby, come in, please.
That's sand. I'll have to see Tom before I can get to him.
Is it about time you got on the blower? They all owe you favors. That's what you're always saying, all these town bigwigs. All you've got to do is pick up the phone and you can fix it.
They're all at the funeral, riding in state.
I'll go to the bloody graveyard. They're all together. They owe you favors.
They got no influence in London. Willie Cleaver's the only one who had that.
Are you going to do nothing?
I'm seeing Tom. He's part of the family. Must have gone off his rocker, must have done. I don't understand it.
And what about them? Hey, what about them? What about all the favours?
I felt the brush when I was up at the house. They're scuttling. They don't want to know anything.
Big boss of a county.
Shut up. Just shut up. If you don't know the meaning of the word self-control, I'll lock you in here with a bloody dictionary. Just leave this to me.
You do know what the time is, I suppose.
There's plenty of time. There's always plenty of time.
You've heard he's back, then?
Jump in. Jump in.
Well, how come he's back?
Our Sergeant Gorn's probably get wind of all this and tinkled him up in Scarborough.
I don't want to talk to him.
That's up to you. You don't have to talk to him. I mean, you'll have to talk to him sometime. Aren't you ever going to talk to him again?
Yeah. But you know, I can't just go round there and tell him what I've been doing.
Look, I stuck my neck right out. I hope you're not having second thoughts.
I didn't expect him back.
You're not afraid of him, are you?
Yeah.
You're back?
My friends.
So why couldn't he come here himself then?
He doesn't know about it.
Address?
Is or mine?
Is. What's his
Jack.
name?
Nancy.
Nancy.
M-A-N.
All right, lad, thank you, I can spell. Al. "18 Crescent Road, Framley Estate." All right, son. You leave it to us.
When will I get it back?
Oh, we don't know about that. There's a big funeral on.
But he's waiting for me. I only said it'd be a minute.
Well, you'll have to tell him what's happened then, won't you?
I think I'd better stay here till it's found then.
Oh, you think it's safer that way? Will he beat you up?
No, he's smaller than me.
All right, lad. Let's have some details.
Eating, Tom? Right. Let's have a bite, lad.
Cable break.
Cable, great. All right, now, do you know
All
the
right,
frame
all
number?
right. What have you lost, sonny boy? Your bag?
It's not mine, it's my friend's.
Never you mind. We'll find it for you.
Cable, great. All right, now, do you know the frame number?
I'll have a roast, love. Roast, Tom?
Yeah, all right.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Aye, why not?
Peas or cabbage, sir?
Cabbage, please, ma'am.
Same place at peas.
Yeah.
How much shall that be, please?
Down to me if you don't mind.
Right.
Thank you.
You're back early.
Oh, I'm not stopping. I left Auntie glad as she was going to lunch. I'm going back tonight. Well, you know what she is. Doesn't like being left on her own. Salt.
Thank you.
I came back for the funeral. And I ran straight into, how do I describe it? You describe it. You tell me what's happening. I've been trying to fathom it out. You've gone balmy. Tom, tell me, from the beginning, what is happening? Tommy?
It was the only way.
Tom, you lay it out for me, eh? If I can understand it, perhaps we can both grapple with it. 50 quid's been mentioned. What's all that about?
What 50 quid?
Now, come on, lad.
It was at Councillor Files' Christmas do.
Yeah.
When I come down the stairs, Mitchell, the bootmaker, and Sergeant Gorham were standing sort of back underneath the stairs. I stopped and listened. I could see him in the mirror, so I stood and watched. There was some patter from Gorham about the money being late, and Gorham says how there's going to be prosecutions for betting after hours when summer came. Who said that, Mitchell says? Mr. Corsby, Gorham says. Oh, well, you best give him this. And he brings out a wad of fivers done up in elastic band and hands it over.
Then what happened?
Nothing. That was the end of that.
No, Tom, how did things come to happen like this?
How do you mean?
Tom, the Home Office is on its way. How did that happen?
Oh. I told Detective Sergeant Sand, he told Sue Gold.
Instead of coming to me, you told Sand? Why?
I don't know. I was scared, I suppose.
Scared of what?
I don't know. I've never been frightened of you before.
You've always been a bit of a sneak, haven't you? You sneaked out of your exams without telling your auntie. We had to find excuses for you. You sneaked off with Hilda and got married behind our backs. If you could have had your baby without telling us, you'd have done so. We've raised you since you were 3.
I've heard that one before.
You're hearing it now. It applies now. You thought of the consequences of all this. I shall be removed from my post. I've always been a sullen, thankless little bastard. Something you want, something you badly want, I never gave you. Where have I gone wrong? What have I done? This business at Christmas? Don't give me that morality line. You with your nicking threepences out of your auntie's bag.
Yeah, that was years ago.
Oh, you're a cheat, Tom. You always have been. You dare come dancing near like a St. George on a bloody white horse, screaming about cesspools of corruption? You know as well as I do. We're all related in this town. This is a closed community.
You took 50 quid on the understanding you wouldn't bring a prosecution.
Bloody nonsense you talk. I could bring a prosecution against Milton if I thought it'd do any good. I haven't brought a prosecution for betting after hours in this town since the act, and you know it.
Yes, you have.
Oh, a couple of token ones which they expected.
Not against Mitchell.
It so happens. I raided Ernie Chambers' shop last June. I got a bottle of scotch. Do you know anything about betting in this town? People work shifts at these mills. There's racing afternoon and evening during summer. The Act stipulates the betting shop has to close at 6:30, which means half the workers can't get a bet on. So the bookies open up. 10 years ago, it was illegal to have a bet at all except through the post. Illegal yesterday, illegal today. They make these laws in the big house in London, when to drink, when to bet, without a single thought about how working people live. Up here, we redress the balance. London laws can't operate here. We'd have the whole force operating day and night. We'd be at war. I'd have to stop every single Christmas present in case one of them was misunderstood.
Why don't you, then?
But if I did that, a lot of other things would have to stop, too. The way this town is run. But people don't just say, I'm a Milton man for the sake of saying it. It means they live by a certain pattern of giving and receiving, of compromise, of making allowances, of knowing that it may all look daft to outsiders, but here it works. But you're not concerned about that, are you? You've got a little bug in your brain. Your headmaster had to send for me because you're cheating. Do you remember that? I told him I didn't believe it of you. I should have had you carpeted. My God, the mistakes I've made.
I never beat anybody up.
What's that supposed to mean?
This Cowley business.
I never laid a finger on Cowley.
No, but Jack Gorn has. You watch that.
That's a lie. It's a scandalous bloody lie.
Every copper on the beat knows it. It's all over town. I tell you what I heard the other day. Mr. Corsby's got a new policy. If you can't join him, beat him.
You're barking right up the wrong tree here, lad.
I'm not concerned about what happened at Christmas.
You don't have to tell me that. You're never really concerned about anything except yourself.
It's the beatings and the threats.
But you're not really concerned about that either, are you, lad? It's your dad, isn't it? It's your dad. The fact is, Tommy, I've been nursing a viper all these years. When you were at school, you discovered I was compelled to break up that picket line and I hit him. It's not bloody Cowley or Mitchell. You're just letting Sugold and San use you because of your dad.
Something like that.
You're taking his sides after all these years? Without even knowing him?
I've been told what happened many times.
Tom, he stood that day on the picket line. I told him the night before, if you try and stop any one operative from getting into that mill and carrying on his work, I'll have to stop you. There'll be no preferential treatment, no holding back because you're my brother. He stood there that day and watched me come towards him. I didn't hit him hard, but he came at me. I dropped the stick, and we battled it out down there on the pavement. Tommy, you weren't even born.
He did nothing wrong.
Tommy, there's a law which says what people have an access, a right of way. Anybody who stops them is in the wrong.
He was talking to him, not stopping him.
You're wrong, son. You weren't even there.
Others were. They've told me. It wasn't just any old mill on strike. It was Mr. Cleaver's first mill. He was in financial difficulties. He'd cut the operatives' wages by 5p an hour. You were at school with Willie Cleaver, and you were the sergeant in charge of that detachment.
I didn't give the orders.
No, but you saw they were carried out, and you certainly carried them out, didn't you? There were 4 of them taken to hospital, including him. You just charged that line.
Ah, Tommy. A legend's grown up around this.
He never worked again.
He was suffering from cancer. He hadn't worked for some time before.
They say he was mentally disturbed afterwards.
Tommy, he was never right before or after.
That's what you say.
That is the truth.
That's like the rest of you. Yeah, well, it all fits in. Cleaver would have gone bust if you hadn't broken that strike. That's why he's been so grateful to you all these years. That's the Milton pattern you're talking about. That's why you got where you are, and that's why he finished up owning every mill round this town.
Oh, that's clever. That's some story. Is that what they're saying? I never heard that one before.
That's it.
Don't give me that. You're talking politics to me. You never stood up for anyone in your life. You found yourself a cause. Now, don't give me that.
I'm giving it.
Now, stop your blathering, boy. Have a decent look at yourself. Have a good look at what you are doing. You never had a sound common sense thought in your brain. If a scruple jumped up and bit you wouldn't recognize it. This is a vindictive bloody act, and you know it.
I've been Big Arthur's boy for years, that's why. I know about vindictive acts.
You've no cause.
There was never anything to be afraid of. I had special treatment at school because of my uncle's position. If I got into trouble, there was always Big Uncle Arthur to get me out. I didn't like that, so I started trying to get myself out. That must have been when I started lying and cheating.
You're nothing.
I found that out when I married Hilda. She hates me now for coming to you about the house and the job and that. I know I'm not capable. It's vindictive, I know. It's been backhanded like everything else I've done. But this is just that bit different. Nobody here thinks I'm going to carry this thing through, but I am. I want to clean the whole bloody slate.
Tommy, I'm going to stop these people coming in. I've got the authority. This is my constituency. If I say so, they won't come in.
You do what you like.
Tommy, wait. I don't understand.
I'm doing it for myself, like I've done everything else. You once called me a little rat. Now, I never knew what you're up to outside the house. I never cared. But when I found out it was true, and what sort of two-faced rat I've been brought up by, I made it my job to ask questions. I've got a cause, all right. It's to see you done like you did for him. How much was that, please?
Yours, love. You mean together?
No, mine.
Oh, 3 and 10, love. Ta.
Are you back now officially, Arthur? Or are you still on leave?
Just came back for the funeral, Percy. Still on holiday. For the moment, anyway. Hey, James.
Yes, sir?
Did you say Hartlepool's draw?
I did, sir.
Back in 15 minutes, Sergeant.
Right, sir.
Hartlepool's?
Well?
I think he'll cough.
Well, that's it then, isn't it? The lad's coughing. 20 minutes to pack and off. It's a bit nice knowing you.
Don't be daft. Listen to me.
I've done enough listening. He won't say anything you said. He's one of the family.
I'll lay it on for you.
What do you mean?
If you leave now, one of two things can happen. Either it looks bad for me, or I'll get out of it by accusing you. I'm the only one who knows about Cowley, and you did that.
If you think you're going to unload all this stuff on me,
Just try leaving now. It'll be 10 solid years for you.
You big bastard.
Tom's going to squeal. I've got no illusions. We're going to have to make up his mind for him.
Clobber him. In that room. You're a genius. Wilson and Battersby are at the desk. Not to mention Sand. He's probably under the stable right now taking notes. You must be joking. Why don't we take the lad down Toffee Street and do it in front of the town council?
You came to me very proud of the way you dusted Cowley. The prisoners in the cell either side of you heard nothing you said.
That was different. Why don't you go down and do it yourself for a change?
Have a mint. Mind they're hot.
If there was a room full of rats, you'd stand out as the one with the pox. All you've ever given is how bloody scrupulous you are. Poor old Arthur Corsby, 40 years on his service, putting a little by for his retirement. How all your gormless schoolmates all become rich, while poor old intelligent fat Arthur Corsby got stuck with a pension. Listen, I'm rotten. In a rotten world, and I'm looking after me, see? That's all you're doing, whatever excuses you may like to belch out. But at least when there's a job to be done, I'll do it.
Is that all now?
You're a gutless fraud.
You got some of your old colour back. Shall we go now? You go on down. You get him.
There's no time.
There's time.
So if you go along the B2162
Hey, Tom.
to Claygate Cross.
Why don't you shove off, Johnny?
Sand. Come here. Promotion. A leg up. You want promotion? I'm not offering it you. I'm asking you. Some sort of political game? You want my job? You're one of the crafty ones, aren't you?
Yes, sir, that's right.
No, it's not. Do you know what you're doing?
Yes, sir. Is that all?
It's a pack of lies. A rotten conspiracy, and you know it.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Stop calling me sir in that cheeky bloody fashion.
Two things, sir. First of all, I didn't take this to the watch committee because I knew that if Mr. Burden was still chairman, it wouldn't see the light of day. And secondly, I want to know what you're going to do with Tom in there.
You want to?
You must leave Tom Cosby alone, sir. I'm telling you. I'm warning you.
I must nothing.
Oi, you'd better be off, lad.
Right, Sarge.
What's the position, lad?
Just the same.
You haven't changed your mind?
No.
It's better to be off to the station. See the time. 9 minutes to 4. In 9 minutes when he gets back, you'll have changed your mind, I promise you that.
You think I'm scared? I'm not. I think you're wasting your time a bit.
Now listen, I'll tell you what you're going to say. You're going to say nothing of the sort happened at that party.
Oh, aye. How do I explain it then?
You'll say that Sand invented the whole story.
Oh, I couldn't just see me saying that.
So can I.
Oh, you must think I'm daft. Sam and me and mates, we don't play that sort of game on each other.
But there are other games, aren't there? Like the sort of things that have been going on between him and Hilda while your back's been turned. To put it bluntly, lad, they've been having it off.
It's no use trying that one.
I'm not trying anything. I'm telling you what you're going to say.
You're crude. You're bloody crude.
Don't talk to me like that. Don't you dare talk to me like that anymore. This afternoon, I've had more insults from you than I've had in dealing with a lifetime of criminals and gutter snipes. I'm sick of it. I've done nothing to deserve it, not from you. You come back at me, there's something that happened 25 years ago. Something you dredged out of the public library. Mouthing the tittle-tattle of professional agitators. That's all he was, do you know that? A bloody communist.
That's all I am, then.
You, what you know about it. You got to talk rings round you. He knew more about what was...
Ah, come on. Let's get it over.
Aye, come on, get it over. You're leaving it late. I want to be left alone with him. I think he's a bag of wind.
Oh, aye. A bag of wind.
Shall we blow up the bag and have a pop?
Now let him tell you about Cowley.
There's no time for telling him about Cowley.
He's an expert, Tom.
I'm all right. I'm doing this by myself.
You're a fool, boy.
I spent nights, hundreds of nights laying awake afraid of him. Standing just in front of him like this. Knowing it will come. It's
not worth it, boy. It's not worth it, no marks. You're a wild animal. You just tell them the Hilda and Sand have been seeing too much of each other. I'll see to the rest. Now, come on. Shake your head. Say yes.
Listen, you. If I cop a stretch through you, you'll do more than just lay awake at night. There'll be nowhere safe for you or your family. You won't be able to leave them alone for 1 minute. You'll never know what I'm going to do to them. She won't be able to go out shopping. She won't be able to powder her nose. You don't know Tedder, my lad. But it's going to start for you right now. Unless you agree with what he says. Now, what do you say?
You're the one who's scared, Gone. You.
Answer me!
You're more scared than me.
I'll do it again.
That's right. You do it. Every time you do it, it'll hurt a bit less. Until I'm not scared at all. And you're the one who's sweating.
Come unstuck, hasn't it? Once again, it's come unstuck. Well, they're not going to get me. I'm leaving the country. You're a bit different, though. To my mind, you're the sort of character who deserves catching up with. You're the real tribe. I'd love to know what happened to you. But I never will. Go on. There's a good 3 minutes left. He's all yours. Just see what you can do with him.
I'm sorry, Tommy. I'm sorry. That wasn't me. He'd have done it anyway. He's a madman. I'm appealing to you, boy. Listen. Tommy, if you're really interested in politics, look over there. That man Cleaver. He never worked outside the law. He sacked people. He cut their wages.
He took over all these mills paying cutthroat prices. Well, that was legal. Everyone said he was a benefactor. I took 50 quid from a bookie, and I let go and sink one Cowley's gut. Cowley has done 3 stretches for GBH. Is it fair? Tommy, look at him. Is it fair? Tommy, everybody does it one way or the other. You may think it's wrong, but that's the way it is. If you call it graft, then you tell me when it doesn't go on. And for the sake of a moment of truth, you do this to me and your Auntie Glad. Tommy, think of her. Thrombosis. Another attack and it'll finish her. It'll kill her stone dead. Tommy, I'm not joking. Well, whatever you think of me, well, don't do it to her. Find a way of getting at me, but not her. Tommy, look. A fella took this photo on the front on Sunday. Look, she's got a lovely smile, Glad. It's nice to see her smile. Cleaver never liked the idea of cremations. Never liked the idea of burning bodies. Well, son, you found your principles. Good luck to you. Your father found his. What happened? It goes on. It always has.
You're not going on.
Just came back for the funeral.